From the Herculean strength of Mark Henry, who lifted a small car and pulled a semi like they weighed nothing, to the unyielding might of John Cena, who lifted Big Show and Edge on his shoulders as if they were mere sack of potatoes, to the unstoppable force of Zydrunas Savickas, who for all we know might be lifting mountains during his morning workouts. These wrestlers have proven that they are in a league of their own. You might be the king of your local gym with an impressive PR of maybe 100 to 200 pounds, but let's be real, compared to these titans, your gym PR is about as significant as lifting a few bags of groceries. Let me show you how they do it. Mark Henry. Mark Henry, often called the world's strongest man, has redefined the limits of physical strength in the modern era. His extraordinary feats of power, from lifting cars to bending steel, have earned him a place in the history of strength athletics. His strength transcends the ordinary, a force that has crushed the opposition with the same ease as one would swat a fly. From lifting massive weights to dominating the wrestling ring, Henry's power is the stuff of legend. His journey from a small Texas town to the global stage of the WWE is a testament to what raw, unbridled strength can achieve. Born in the small town of Silsbee, Mark Henry was not just another child, he was a prodigy of strength. As a boy, Henry's potential was undeniable, lifting weights that would make grown men shiver. Henry's ascent in the world of strength sports was meteoric. As Mark Henry's reputation grew, so did the weight on the bar. Before he even finished high school, he had already secured his first major national title, setting a precedent for what was to come. By the time he was 19, he had already secured his place as one of the top super heavyweight powerlifters in the United States. His prowess was not confined to national borders. The entire world was about to witness the emergence of an American titan. By the age of 15, Henry was already outlifting competitors far beyond his years, setting a national high school record with a 600-pound squat, a 315-pound bench press, and a 635-pound deadlift. These numbers were not just impressive, they were unheard of for someone his age. He wasn't just breaking records, he was redefining the limits of human capability. By the age of 18, he was named the world's strongest teenager by the Los Angeles Times. Stage was set for Mark Henry to take on the world, and he did just that. In 1992, at the tender age of 21, Henry represented the United States in the Olympics. While he may not have medaled, his presence was felt, and his potential was clear to all who watched. 4 years later, in 1996, he returned to the Olympic stage, this time with even more experience and power at his command. But it wasn't just the Olympics where Mark Henry shone. He also made his mark in the Pan American Games. In 1995, he captured gold, silver, and bronze medals, a testament to his all-around skill in the sport. His lifts were not just winning him medals, they were breaking records. At the Pan American Games, he set a record with a 407.5 kilogram total in the super heavyweight class, a feat that solidified his status as one of the strongest men on the planet. Mark Henry's strength was not just in the amount of weight he could lift, it was in the ease with which he lifted it. His ability to deadlift and squat over 900 pounds without the aid of accessories like a squat suit was unparalleled. These record-breaking lifts were not just numbers, they were a display of human potential, a showcase of what the body could achieve when pushed to its absolute limit. The world of powerlifting had seen strong men before, but none like Mark Henry. His strength was a force of nature, an unstoppable ties in the 2002 World's Strongest Man competition at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. This victory solidified the moniker he carries today, 20 years after debuting in WWE, where Mark Henry stands at a terrifying peak. In addition, Henry holds the incredible distinction of having been a world champion in 3 sports: powerlifting, strongman, and wrestling. Injuries didn't stop him, and neither could superstars such as Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show, all of whom have felt the wrath of his strength. With the steady concentration of an ER surgeon and the temper of Bruce Banner, the scariest thing about Mark Henry isn't just that he's the world's strongest man, it's that he knows exactly how to use his unparalleled strength. It's this knowledge that caused decades of devastation inside the squared circle and earned Henry his spot in the WWE Hall of Fame. Bill Kazmaier. Before the reign of Mark Henry, the title of the world's strongest man was held by none other than Bill Kazmaier. Known for his super strength and indomitable spirit, Kazmaier dominated the world of strength sports in his prime. A world champion powerlifter, his legendary feats of strength catapulted him into the stratosphere of athletic greatness. With 3 world's strongest man titles under his belt, he didn't just dominate the competition, he redefined it. But the road to glory is often paved with hardship. Before the world knew him as Kaz, he struggled to make ends meet, Working as an oil rigger, a bouncer, and a lumberjack, these jobs, demanding in their own right, only served to forge his body and will of steel. During this time, Kazmaier's dedication to lifting weights transformed from a mere passion into an all-consuming quest for unparalleled strength. The year 1978 marked Kazmaier's explosive entry into the national powerlifting scene. He stunned the crowd and competitors at the Amateur Athletic Union National Championships in Los Angeles, California. In the 275-pound weight class, he squatted 782 pounds, bench pressed 534 pounds, and deadlifted 804 pounds. This triumphant debut placed him among the elite, a force to be reckoned with from his first national appearance. Kazmaier's ascent to the pinnacle of powerlifting continued in 1983. Despite suffering from two major injuries, a severe pectoral injury and torn hip flexors, he claimed victory once again at the United States Powerlifting Federation National Powerlifting Championships in July. Later that year in November, he conquered the IPF World Championship for the second time. His resilience and determination in the face of injury only added to his growing legend. Kazmaier competed in 6 World's Strongest Man contests. In 1979 World's Strongest Man, he came in third after leading throughout much of the competition and beating powerlifting icon Don Reinhardt in the car lift by deadlifting a 2,555 pounds car. In the following years, he dominated the competitions in 1980, 1981, and 1982, winning all by a large margin. He was the first man to win the WSM title 3 times and remains one of only 2 men ever to win it 3 times in a row. In his 1980 title win, Kazmaier won 5 for first in another. He won the log lift, the engine race, the steel bar bend, the girl squat lift, the silver dollar deadlift, and the final tug of war. The runner-up in the competition, Lars Hedlund, was over 28 points behind. During Kazmaier's title defense at the 1981 World's Strongest Man, he won the squat event with 969 pounds, 440 kilograms, on a Smith machine for a world record, just after tearing his pectoralis major muscle while bending cold-rolled steel bars in the bar bend event before. After this tear, he lost more than 100 pounds off his bench press, making his 1983 IPF World Championship win all that much more significant. Following his win in the squat, he went on to win the silver dollar deadlift with a 960-pound, 440 kilograms lift. After his competitor failed to make the final lift, Kazmaier lifted the weight twice despite needing only 1 rep to secure the win. Of 11 events, he had 5 wins, 2 second places, 1 third, and a 4th. His wins included the log lift, deadlift, squat, loading race, and engine race. In addition to WSM contests, Kazmaier also competed in other strongman competitions successfully, such as the Strongbow Strongman Challenge, the Scottish Power Challenge, the Ledefi Mark 10 Challenge, the World Muscle Power Championships, and the Pure Strength Contest. He ended his career as a competitive strongman in 1990. With 3 World's Strongest Man titles, Kazmaier is one of the most successful competitors in the history of the contest. Strength author David Webster called him the greatest American strength athlete of all time, and a 2008 poll of experts rated him as top super heavyweight lifter of all time, and one of the strongest men who ever lived. He was featured in Flex magazine in May 2008, in which a top 10 list of the strongest men in history was published, where Kazmaier was voted the 3rd strongest man that ever lived, just behind Mark Henry and Zydrunas Savickas. Zydrunas Savickas. In the lush landscapes of Lithuania, where the spirit of competition and strength is woven into the culture, there is Zydrunas Savickas, who is popularly known as Big Z. From an early age, it was evident that he was not like the other children. He was bigger, stronger, and had a determination that set him apart. As a young boy, Savickas was drawn to the raw power of strength sports. His fascination with lifting weights began at the tender age of 13, and it wasn't long before he was pushing himself to the limits, his body responding with rapid growth and formidable strength. He immersed himself in the world of powerlifting, a sport that demands not only brute strength, but also technical precision and mental fortitude. By the age of 16, Savickas was already competing, and his performances were nothing short of prodigious. He quickly rose through the ranks, setting national records and earning the respect of his peers and competitors alike. The transition from powerlifting to strongman was a natural progression for Zydrunas. His debut in the strongman arena came in the mid-90s, and it was clear from the outset that he was a force to be reckoned with. With each competition, his legend grew. The year 2003 marked a turning point in his career as he stepped onto the global stage at the World's Strongest Man competition. Though he did not claim the title that year, his performance was a harbinger of the dominance that was to come. In the following years, Savickas' career trajectory was explosive. He claimed his first Lithuania's Strongest Man title, a victory that would be the first of many. Each competition, each lift, each triumph was a testament to his relentless work ethic and his insatiable desire to improve. He lifted, he pulled, he carried, each event a stepping stone on on his journey to greatness. His deadlift in particular was a spectacle of raw power, with Zydrunas setting a world record by lifting an earth-shattering 1,155 pounds, 525 kilograms, with straps. Savicka's strength was not confined to lifting traditional weights. He excelled in pulling vehicles, hoisting heavy atlas stones, and other feats that combined strength, agility, and endurance. His name became synonymous with raw power as he broke over 20 world records in strength competitions, a clear indication of his status as one of the most complete strongmen to ever compete. So when we talk about muscle and strength in wrestling, Big Z, Mark Henry, and Bill Kazmaier will remain the top dogs till someone else comes to replace them. They've set the bar sky high, making records that seem out of this world. But hey, wrestling isn't a game for the faint-hearted. It's all about the next big thing, the next giant leap. So here are 3 other wrestlers, each packing a punch, each with their own brand of power. They might not have toppled the Kings, but they have given us some edge-of-the-seat moments. So let's dive into their stories and see. Ted Arcidi. One of them is Theodore Arcidi, who is popularly known as Ted Arcidi. He is a powerlifter and strongman whose hands have gripped the cold steel and hoisted weights that mere mortals could only dream of lifting. With a bench press world record that shattered expectations and a professional wrestling career that showcased his might against the titans of the ring, Ted Arcidi's legacy is etched in the history of strength sports. From a very young age, Arcidi's dedication to the sport was relentless, his discipline unbreakable. He trained with a passion that was almost religious, sculpting his body into a powerhouse capable of extraordinary feats. It was in the early 1980s that Arcidi began to make waves, lifting weights that defied belief. His raw bench press at the 275-pound class in Westminster, Maryland in 1983 was a staggering 650.4 pounds, a feat achieved without the aid of wrist wraps. But it was on the 3rd of March, 1985, in the tropical paradise of Honolulu, Hawaii, that Ted Arcidi would forge his name into history. At Gus Rethwish's Budweiser World Record Breakers, the powerlifting world held its breath as Arcidi approached the bench. The bar was loaded. 705.5 pounds of cold, unyielding steel lay before him. The crowd watched in awe as Arcidi, with a steely gaze and the heart of a lion, pressed the weight with a roar that echoed through the hall. He became the first man to bench press over 700 pounds in an officially recognized powerlifting competition, setting an APF and USPF world record that would endure. The magnitude of this achievement cannot be overstated. Arcidi had not just lifted a weight, he had lifted the very spirit of the sport. His record was performed in one of the earliest bench shirts, a prototype that was 50% polyester and 50% cotton, only one layer thick. This garment was later categorized as equipped, but it did little to aid his Herculean effort. In fact, just a year prior, in 1984, Arcidi had benched an official 666.9 pounds completely raw, without a bench shirt, in Honolulu, Hawaii, further cementing his status as one of the greatest bench pressers of all time. Arcidi's reign in powerlifting was not a fleeting moment of glory. After a 5.5-year hiatus from competition due to his wrestling career, he returned to the stage that had once crowned him king. On the 30th of September 1990 in Keene, New Hampshire, he set another world record with a bench press of 718.1 pounds. His rivalry with Anthony Clark, another giant of the bench, reached its zenith on the 14th of September 1991 at a Mr. Olympia contest. In a showdown that had the world on the edge of their seats, Arcidi pressed 725 pounds off his chest, a new world record, though later disqualified due to a technicality involving his arm lockout. His sheer size and strength were unmatched, and he was quickly billed as the world's strongest man. Ted Arcidi's powerlifting achievements are the stuff of legend, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. His raw bench press records in the 380-pound and 275-pound classes stand unchallenged. In the squared circle of professional wrestling, Arcidi's strength was equally legendary. He debuted in Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation, WWF, in late 1985, facing off against other strongmen such as Tony Atlas, Big John Studd, and Hercules Hernandez. He made a single appearance at WrestleMania 2 in the WWF NFL Battle Royal and wrestled Big John Studd at the Boston Garden in 1986. Arcidi was the first WWF wrestler to hold the title of the World's Strongest Man. His final match was against Jake Roberts on February 14, 1987 in Calgary, Alberta. After his WWF run, Arcidi briefly worked for Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling before moving on to the World Class Championship Wrestling in Dallas, Texas, where he was known as Mr. 705. Managed by Percival Pringle III, he captured the organization's Texas Heavyweight Championship and held it until he lost to Matt Bourne. Arcidi left the organization in 1990 to pursue other endeavors, leaving behind a legacy of raw power and unbridled strength that continues to inspire athletes around the world. Brock Lesnar. Another titan among men is Brock Lesnar, who is also known as the Beast Incarnate. Lesnar's strength has become the stuff of legend in the realms of WWE and UFC, a force that has bulldozed through the competition. He's not just a wrestler, he's a phenomenon. From his roots as an NCAA wrestling champion to his reign as a heavyweight champion in the Octagon, Brock Lesnar has left a trail of awe in his wake. Lesnar's journey in the WWE began in the early 2000s, and from the outset, it was clear that he was different. His background as an NCAA Division I heavyweight wrestling champion gave him a foundation of functional strength that was unmatched. But it was his transition to professional wrestling that brought his otherworldly power into the limelight. The numbers speak for themselves. Lesnar reportedly boasts a bench press of over 600 pounds. To put that into context, the average well-trained athlete might aspire to lift half that weight. Lesnar's bench press is not just a number, it's a testament to his dedication and the raw power he possesses. This strength isn't confined to the weight room. It's on full display every time he steps into the ring. In the WWE, Lesnar has showcased his immense strength in the most spectacular ways. In the WWE, Lesnar has been pitted against some of the heaviest and strongest superstars in the industry. Take Roman Reigns, for example, a powerhouse in his own right, weighing in at 265 pounds. Lesnar has not only lifted Reigns for his signature F5 move, but has done so with a fluidity and ease that defies logic. The F5, Lesnar's signature move, is a clear display of his power. To execute this move, he must lift the opponent onto his shoulders completely, a feat that requires incredible strength and stability. This move, along with his other in-ring actions, confirms that Brock Lesnar's strength is not an illusion created by the spectacle of professional wrestling. It's an integral part of who he is as a competitor. He returned to the ring at WWE SummerSlam 2021, and in a dark match with John Cena, he executed multiple F5s on the champ, who weighs around 251 pounds. This is a testament to Lesnar's ability to lift and maneuver heavyweights with what seems like effortless ease. However, it's not just John Cena and Roman Reigns who felt the wrath of Lesnar's strength. He has also taken down heavyweights like Goldberg, Braun Strowman, The Rock, and the Great Khali, all of whom are known for their own formidable strength. Perhaps one of the most impressive displays of Lesnar's strength was against Braun Strowman, a man known as the Monster among men. Strowman, standing at 6 feet 8 inches and weighing 385 pounds, is an imposing figure. Yet Lesnar has lifted and slammed him with a shocking display of power, leaving viewers questioning the limits of human strength. Lesnar's strength is not just for show, functional and fearsome. His ability to execute high-impact moves on opponents who are themselves behemoths is a spectacle that never fails to impress. Whether it's lifting the Big Show, who tips the scales at over 400 pounds, or executing a series of German suplexes on heavyweights like Mark Henry, Lesnar's strength is a central part of his narrative in the WWE. But it's not just about the moves, it's about the moments. Lesnar's strength creates moments that become etched in the memory of fans. When he ended The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, it was a moment of shock and awe, a testament to his power both physically and within the WWE universe. John Cena. Before John Cena became the Titan of the Ring, he was John Felix Anthony Cena Jr., born on April 23, 1977, in West Newbury, Massachusetts. As the late 1990s dawned, Cena's zeal for bodybuilding morphed into an unquenchable thirst for wrestling supremacy. When he burst onto the WWE scene in 2002, it wasn't just an entrance, it was a declaration of power. Cena's might was palpable, hoisting adversaries with the ease of a powerlifter, his muscles tempered by years of rigorous training and discipline. But Cena's strength wasn't just for spectacle. It was a functional, practical, and intimidating force. It catapulted him through the ranks, securing his status as a wrestler who could seamlessly blend technical prowess with brute strength. His early triumphs in the ring were a clear display of his power, as he dominated opponents with an unyielding grip and determination. Cena's transition from a bodybuilder to a professional wrestler was flawless, with his strength serving as the bedrock of a storied career that would carve his name into the annals of wrestling history. His powerlifting achievements are the stuff of legend, with a squat record of 611 pounds and a deadlift of 602 pounds, feats that defy the limits of age and human capability. Cena's bench press of 487 pounds is the highest verified lift among celebrities, underscoring his unparalleled strength. As John Cena's star began to rise in the WWE, his background in bodybuilding was evident in every match. His early career was marked by displays of raw power that left both audiences and fellow wrestlers in awe. Cena's strength was not just a part of his character, it was a reality that opponents quickly learned to fear. In the wrestling ring, Cena's raw power was on full display at WrestleMania X5, where he astonishingly shouldered both Big Show and Edge, with their combined weight nearing 700 pounds. This was no surprise to those who knew of his 611-pound squat or witnessed his 602-pound deadlift, which he achieved as a celebration of his 40th birthday. John Cena's total powerlifting record, if performed in a meet, would be a staggering 1,700 pounds. Even as he advances in age, Cena continues to push the boundaries, power cleaning 353 pounds on his 41st birthday. In the pantheon of the strongest pro wrestlers of all time, Cena stands out, not just for his size, but for his unmatched strength, making him arguably the most powerful WWE wrestler ever at 250 pounds or less. The match at the Royal Rumble in 2007 was a testament to John Cena's indomitable spirit and superhuman strength. Cena, despite being battered and bruised, stood unyielding against Umaga's formidable might. In a moment that will be engraved in the depths of WWE history, Cena, with a surge of adrenaline that seemed to defy physics, lifted the massive 350-pound Umaga onto his shoulders. Cena's extraordinary capabilities. As we've seen, Cena's power is not just in his arms, it's in his mantra to never give up. And it is this combination of physical and inner strength that makes John Cena a true icon of superhuman strength in the world of WWE. Click on one of the cards on the screen to see more videos like this.